Hall of Famer, and the man who carried the Sixers on his back for years is now with us. AI, so appreciate you hanging out there in Philly with Stephen A. I will send it out to you guys.
Thank you, Molly. What's going on, Big Time? How you doing?
What's up, big dog?
Listen, first of all, before we get into these playoffs, I want to know what you've been doing, what you've been up to, because I see you at these Sixers games, but I also know you had the second annual Allen Iverson Round Ball Classic. What have you been up to?
Been working. Hold on, first and foremost, Max, I heard what you said. Somebody called me already and said this was too early. And you was wrong this time, just like you were wrong about Tom Brady.
I was wrong, of course. Like Tom Brady. Okay, we'll see. Right. We'll see if I'm wrong this season, AI.
Okay.
But talk to me. What you been doing?
Right now, I'm finishing up my book. I'm renovating the gym in the Boys and Girls Club where I grew up.
Okay.
Doing a lot right now. I just finished my classic this weekend, for the best All-American high school players in the country.
Yeah.
For the most part, just doing my dad duties, man. I'm able now to do a lot more than I did when I was playing. Could be a lot more hands-on, picking them up from school, taking them to school, practice and stuff like that. Got the I3 collection coming back, so now I get a chance to see the kids wear my sneakers on the dance floor again. So I'm very excited.
That I3 Reebok collection is going to be special, and no doubt about that. But I do want to know about this book from this perspective. I want to know, you got a book. It almost seems like you done told us everything. What are we going to learn from this book? Because I've been watching you for years, knowing you for years, covering you for years, and you have never been shy about how you feel. So what is this book going to tell us?
It's, just a lot of personal things that I didn't talk about throughout my career, from my perspective.
In your words.
In my words. I get to tell my own story, you know what I mean? You believe it or you don't, you know what I mean? But it's going to come from the heart. Different things that people don't know anything about. I think it's going to be a book for a lot of kids and adults to learn from, the do's and the do's and don'ts. Some of the mistakes that I made, some of the mistakes I've overcome. And I think people are going to enjoy it. And I've been having fun doing it, you know what I mean? Because it's a good feeling to open up about a lot of things.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Max.
AI, you ever, in your retirement, watch the league nowadays and think, damn, this league, because for some players, the league has changed in a way that's bad for them. But when you played point guard, people were like, that's not the way you're supposed to play point guard. And yet, in fact, nowadays, it's a primary ball handler who can attack the basket, get to the paint, make decisions and all that. And offenses on great teams are designed around that guy. You ever look at the league now and think, I missed my era? This should have been my era?
No, I think my era was my era. You know what I mean? I did pretty good.
You did great, but I mean,
thank you.
Go ahead.
It's definitely evolving, man, and it's getting more and more exciting. I love the space that the league is in. You know what I mean? The superstars are definitely performing like superstars. We should be proud of our game, man. You know what I mean? And I think it's only going to get better and better. I think the commissioner is doing a great job, and I'm positive thinking about the whole thing, and it's still must-see TV.
Do you find yourself looking at these Philadelphia 76ers, looking at these young boys? I mean, listen, the bottom line is this. We love from Aaron McKee to Eric Snow to George Lynch to Dikembe Mutombo, Theo Ratliff before him, the crew. We were both there, obviously. But looking at this team, this Philadelphia 76ers team, you don't find yourself sitting back sometimes going like this, damn, if only I was here right now?
Wow. I definitely get excited about seeing those guys. They play the right way. I'm definitely a big fan. You know what I mean? Very supportive of those guys. I mean, we back like we left something. You know what I mean? I'm definitely looking forward to us finishing out this series and doing big things. I think our time is now. It's not a.
What does that mean?
I think
championship?
Definitely.
Now?
Why not? Why not us? Why not? I think we got the talent, we got the coaching staff, and we definitely got the fan support.
Molly?
AI, you think they could actually win the finals this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to be tough. You know what I mean? But I just think we're talented enough. Anything can happen in the series. I know there's some juggernauts out west, and it's going to be tough for us to get out of the East. But I think we believe in each other. You know what I mean? I think we really believe. I don't think it's a facade. You know what I mean? I think these guys feel that they can do it. You know what I mean? If you don't feel that way, then how can you accomplish something like that?
I know, before I get to you, Max, I got to ask you a question because I'm not going to get into how I feel. You've argued with me about this enough off the air, but I will ask you this question, Allen Iverson, just so you can alert our listeners, our viewers, to what you feel. How do you feel about the process? And when the fans are chanting the process, trust the process, how do you feel about the process that is taking place in Philadelphia and what you had to go through to get there?
I feel good about it because I feel like, unlike you know, people like myself and the rest of the fans in Philadelphia, you know, they believed in it. You know what I mean? We trust the process. And obviously, it's looking good. Obviously,
see what I have to deal with, Max?
The right way to go.
See what I have to deal with, Max? This is what I got to deal with, Max.
I see.
He knows that's why he's laughing, because
See,
it's not the first
Stephen
time
A.
I hear more from him.
Stephen A.
I told you.
Stephen A. tried to pull Philly credentials on me, bona fides, and say, oh, I wrote for this many years. I'm telling you, Philly didn't like the process, blah, blah, blah. But you're saying Philly did like the process, didn't they? That the fans understood it, didn't they? You got Embiid and Simmons out of the process.
We're believers.
You always, when y'all were losing winning 28 games in 2 years, what was it like then?
You know what? It was tough. It was tough. But when you're a basketball head like myself, and I thought you were.
You said your head looked like a basketball, Stephen A. That's what it meant.
You be quiet, let him speak. Go ahead, man.
See the development. You
Called you basketball
head. We realized how much of a great coach we had. We knew what type of guy that we had in there. You know what I mean? He's cut from that cloth. He's been around Pop. I want to definitely send my condolences to Pop and his family and friends and everybody that loved her. But I think we were pointing in the right direction. Obviously, all of this paid off. So you got to take your hat off to the organization, man. They're doing a super job.
Go ahead, Max.
AI, I want to circle back to the league nowadays and your influence on it. Take another shot at it. I see your DNA throughout the league. I see Kyrie Irving and the handles and crossover and all that stuff. I see Westbrook and the unbridled ferocity and all that. Even Steph with the handles. I see your DNA all over the league. What do you see? How do you feel about that when you see your influence in the modern NBA?
It's the greatest feeling in the world. It's the greatest feeling in the world. You know, especially when you see those guys, you go to games, and, you know, they express to me how much they look up to me and how they try to, you know, emulate me and my play. It's a beautiful thing, man. I think it's a blessing. You know what I mean? I think one of the dopest things for me is, you know, coming from doing this classic and, you know, seeing these kids and talking to them and interacting with them and they hanging on to every word. It's a beautiful thing. I share my moments being in the NBA, the things that I went through off of the basketball court, the things that I had to learn from to get better in, to develop myself as a better man. And things like that is very special to me.
What were those things? What were those things? What were those things that you had to learn to be a better man?
Just my decision making. Just trying to do the right thing and thinking before I made decisions instead of just reacting. Just trying my hardest to keep great company around me. And just learning from my mistakes. I don't feel like a mistake is a mistake unless you make it twice.
Well, let me
No
ask
question.
you this.
Oh.
Yes, we're going to take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a break after you go, Stephen A.
Go ahead, Molly. Go ahead, Molly. Absolutely.
Yeah,
No, we don't need to. Let's go to break now.
Okay, cool. But yeah, AI, seeing your legacy play out there every night, and I heard what you said about building the court for the Boys and Girls Club, all that. Kudos to you. All great work. We're just getting started. We got a lot more questions for you coming up. We'll break down the Thunder's miserable game last night and what it means for the future of the Big Three in OKC. First take. Keep it locked.
When they do that talking, I just let it go.
Your analysis of what would make the team better was idiotic.
Max just wrote a column, an 800-word column, and 400 of the words were maybe.
Case closed.